Pro boxing fans, delighted to be joined by Richard Riakporhe. Richard, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
Good. Let's talk about your last fight, Chris Billam-Smith. Close fight in the end. During the fight, how did you feel it was going?
I thought I was winning the rounds. Whilst I watched it back, I felt like I was up like about 3 rounds, before it ended. So, and obviously the knockdown. So yeah, I felt like I won comfortably.
Did he surprise you when he came into the ring, because it's probably his first step-up fight, really?
Yeah, to be honest, I did feel like I was knocking him out in the 6 rounds, but he did well. Surprisingly, showed me that the grit of a true warrior, and he could take a shot. He could take a big shot, and he was still standing. I was actually shocked watching it back, but it was good because I needed, that's the experience that I crave for me to do well at the next level. These are the fights that I need to kind of go through, and so I can gain a lot of experience. And we've done that, we've got the job done, and we've got the experience. So you can't kill two birds with one stone.
Upcoming fight, Jack Massey fighting for the British title, which has been vacated by Lawrence Okoli. How does it feel to be fighting for the Lonsdale belt?
Oh, it feels great. That was a dream. That's a dream come true. I remember watching the British champion, Matty Askin, back when I just turned pro, and I was just thinking about getting my experience as a novice fighter, fighting certain journeymen, the right journeyman, so I can get the right type of experience. And now, about 2.5 years later, I'm fighting for a British title. So it's a great thing, man. It's a great thing.
Back in your teenage years, you was involved in street crime, knife crime. Now, knife crime rates have increased at an alarming rate. It's always been there. You grew up in the estate life. To tell us some stories about you growing up. I see a story about your estate was cordoned off when you woke up one morning because there was a body that was found.
Oh yeah, so Aylesbury estate. So what's that? A body got found there. Oh yeah, I remember. Listen, growing up in the Aylesbury estate, they've knocked where I used to live down now. So it's just a bunch of new flats and stuff. But back then it was, coming out my house, I would see, drug deals, drug addicts, loads of different crimes, and it was normal. It was just a norm for us. I remember coming out of my house one day, seeing the block taped off, and obviously because of the way the block was built, I could literally go up on the landing and find out exactly what was being taped off. And I saw somebody commit suicide. It was either to commit suicide, someone threw them out of the block, so you could see the body on the floor. And back then they never used to put the white kind of tent above the bodies. They would put a red blanket or something like that. Crazy, it's crazy, but that was all new to me, growing up, being 12, 13, and it's only till I got out and started to, mingle and indulge myself in the professional world, real world, and I saw, it was very different, and that's not a norm for a lot of people. That's actually crazy, but it's kind of strengthened me mentally, and I just realised how valuable life is, and I appreciate it every single day.
As mentioned, you were a victim of knife crime yourself. Do you think introducing boxing into schools will help reduce street crime?
Absolutely. There's a lot of people interested in boxing. Boxing right now is at an all-time high. We had KSI fight Logan Paul the other day, and they done amazing numbers. And there's a lot of youth following them on YouTube, social media, and it's gotten a lot of people interested in boxing. And whether it's white-collar boxing or professional boxing, people want to get involved. It's life-changing, keeps people busy, occupied, and it got me out of a lot of trouble. I remember times where my friends would call me to come out and get up to no good, pretty much, and I couldn't, literally, because I had a fight on Saturday. So I needed a rest, and so it's just all about being busy. And it's not just boxing. There's tons of sports. There's different contact sports, and there's sports that are not contact. It's all about just keeping yourself busy and occupied. And that's pretty much my message when I go into schools to talk to youth.
Now, you joined the sport fairly late, at the age of 19.
Yeah, 19.
Talk to me about choosing university over potential Olympics.
Yeah, you know, I remember training. In the Lynn ABC, and once I got into the sport, I realised how much power I possessed. You know, I used to knock out a lot of people. I remember going into championships, into the novice championships, having 6 fights and knocking out 5 opponents. And you know, it was apparent, you know, my power, and everybody used to talk about me. And I realised, you know, I have a real talent, and it's all about, it needs to be nurtured. At the same time, I wanted to do something else, so I have like, I didn't want to put all of my eggs in one basket, you know, so to speak. And that's when I took up university, took up going to college. I was training with Gary Hill, which is one of the main coaches on the GB squad, and he always just told me, like, every day, like, listen, your division is wide open, there's no one there, like, carry on building. But because I made the decision to go to uni, which I don't regret, I couldn't pursue that type of that place and that position that he wanted me to pursue. But he had me spar Anthony Joshua and meet a lot of people, and he taught me so much, and I really appreciate that.
Talk to me about Enhancing Minds. What is it? Why did you start it? And is it still going?
So Enhancing Minds has changed now. It's Riakporhe. It's Riakporhe, like, foundation, if you would, or Riakporhe company, and we literally go into schools. We do programs in schools, teaching life skills, teaching boxing, the art of boxing, non-contact, of course, and public speaking, just motivational talks, and just to kind of give the students and the kids that advice that I didn't receive when I was young. And that was my main reason why I started to go into schools. And I get so much pleasure out of it, because it's like, once I receive, like, after my talks, the messages that I receive, like 2 months, 3 months afterwards from the students, and how their talk has benefited their lives, and even from their parents and stuff, it's really humbling, you know, and it makes me want to, you know, continue doing it and become more successful, so I can have more power when I speak, pretty much, so they listen.
Now, you chose many wrong paths as a child. You chose the right path through boxing. What motivates you to continue striving in boxing?
Just, you know, I want to win the world title. You know, that's my dream, and that's why I train every day. I believe I'm very close. You know, I'm very close. So I stay on the same path. It's going to be inevitable. You know, that day will come soon. Also, you know, what comes with it. You know, the glory, the fame. You know, the fortune. Being able to put my family in a great financial position, you know, just a dream, pretty much. But being a world champion, that's the first goal. That's the most important thing to me.
Now, you're fighting for the British title, which was vacated. The Commonwealth title was also vacated. That'll be fought for between Craig Glover and your last opponent, Chris Billam-Smith. How do you see that fight playing out? And is the Commonwealth title something you want in the future?
So I see that fight. I see it being a little tear-up, to be honest. A little tear-up, especially in the mid-rounds, round 3, 4, 5. And it could be a point. It could be, actually, it could end up in a knockout win. But I'm leaning more to Billam-Smith, because he's skillful. I believe that he has what it takes. He's had experience fighting me. He has what it takes to beat Glover, but at the same time, Glover, you can't count Glover out. You know, Glover has a good backing in Tony Bellew, and I've seen him fight before. One of his best performances for me was against Simon Valili. That was a great performance, you know, and that really kind of opened the public's eye to his talent and his skill. But obviously, he had a few setbacks, which happens, it's normal, and it's all about how he comes back mentally from that. And I think that will be a major factor in this fight. But Chris Billam-Smith, he's game. He's got a good team. He's in a good camp. A lot of champions around him. So that will definitely give him an edge. It's all about environment. Environment is very important. It rubs off.
And finally, one last prediction from yourself. Anthony Joshua and Ruiz Jr., who wins and why?
Ruiz. To be honest, I'm sitting on the fence for this one. I really don't know, because you know, if you fight an opponent and he destroys you not just physically but mentally. When you jump in the ring to fight that opponent again in the rematch and that opponent trains for you and hits you, it's like you will have some reoccurring thoughts. It's like PTSD to an extent. You know, you just remember, oh, that was the shot that I got hit with before. Doubt can creep in, make you turn negative in the space of a second. You know, and that could affect your whole performance. So it's all about his mind in this fight. He has the attributes to knock Ruiz out within 3 rounds. But it's all about where he is mentally, and that's what I've told a few people as well. So if he comes in there, if he's mentally sound, and he's gonna do his thing. But if he isn't, you know, it's gonna be a difficult fight, and you know the same thing can happen. The repeat could happen again. So I'm not too sure. I haven't been around him to assess him mentally, but we're gonna have to see some of the strongest mentally strong people that I've been around is like Dillian Whyte, very strong mentally. He's unbreakable, you know, seriously, and not a lot of people have got that mindset. You know, I got that mindset, fortunately, but not a lot of people have that mindset. So we're gonna see how it comes on the 7th of December. Yeah, and I hope he does. I hope he gets this victory. But a lot of the people are saying, like a lot of the boxing greats at the moment, like Canelo and who else? A few other fighters. They said that Ruiz needs to just go in and do the same thing. You know, Joshua changed up a lot of things in his camp. I heard he's quite slim at the moment as well. He's lost a bit of weight, and sometimes changing too much could be counterproductive. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. We've been pro boxing fans.
Yes.